Fantastic.
Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to another Hellish Reviews, where today I'm going to be unboxing and giving my first opinions and first impressions on the Honor 6X. Now this particular one's quite new, I'm led to believe, and I say led to believe because I went into the store not planning on actually getting a new phone. I was just going to look at my options, and I saw a particular deal and I snapped it up. So I got this new phone on a new contract. Let's unbox it and take a look and get it going and see what it's like. Now, for those of you who know what I'm like with unboxings and things like that, I'm not much of a, oh, look at this bit, look at that bit, oh, let's look at this bit 3 different ways. I'm not that, no. This is not that sort of unboxing. Knife in, seals out. Let's get it open. So, nice packaging. It's not important, but nice packaging. Okay, there's the phone. We'll have a closer look at that in a bit. Let's lift that out. So it's all in a nice protective seal. It's got a quick reference on the back, which I presume, you know, you've got the little plastic bits that you have to peel off new electric devices, which I'm going to do. It's got some like quick start instructions, like power button here, volume there, this is where your SIM goes in, so this is where your NFC is. So that's really cool. Actually, that's a good feature. I like that. I haven't seen that on this sort of electrical product before, so we'll come back to that in a second. Let's just see what's in the rest of the box here. So we've got some stickers. I don't know why, but hey ho. A little quick start manual guide. Oh my goodness, that's like the thickest quick start I've ever seen. Is it in like 20 billion different languages? 20.5 billion different languages. And then we've got a warranty card. Okay. Now, the next bit is accessories. We've got a little jobby. Can't remember what this is called. There's an official name for this. But it's one of those things you jab in to get your SIM cards in and out. I lost mine. Don't know where it is. So it's good. It's good I've got one of them. And in the bottom here we have the charger. It looks like there's something else in the bottom there as well. So let's just take the charger out. So there is a branded flat pack with the extendable UK 3-prong jobby. I like it when they do ones like this. It's good. USB to mains thing. I've got a few of them, but that's good. There we go. And a USB cable. It's white, unfortunately. I don't like white accessories personally, but this one sadly is not USB-C like my old phone. I thought that USB-C was going to start coming in a little bit more. It's like the new way to do USB in mobile and small devices. But this one is still USB micro. But I've got loads of different adapters and cables for USB micro, so it's not a problem. Let's get rid of that bit of packaging. And what else have we got in the bottom here? So, oh, there's stuff in the top. So what's in the top? Stuff in the top are some headphones. Inline headphones, presumably with mic attachments. Earphones, I should say, not headphones, sorry. And is that it? That is it. Apart from that, the box is now empty. So nothing more or less than what we'd come to expect for a standard mobile phone. I suppose the surprise was the stickers. Not really much of a surprise there. And the quick start reference on the back, which was pretty cool. So there are all the bits. That's all the box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the phone on, load it up with my basic settings, like put my account details in, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay then, so it's been a day and I've had a little bit of opportunity to get to grips with this new phone. I'm going to talk about it as we go through the scores for my first impressions of the phone. So first up is aesthetics. Does it look good? Well, personally, in my opinion, this is a little bit subjective, but I do think it looks good. Nice, crisp black clear finish on the front, and on the back a very nice metallic and really good feeling material on there. So overall I think it does look good. It is very sleek, very, yeah, just sleek and nice and smart. I am going to probably say that I would prefer it if it wasn't the brand name on the front of the phones. Not many of them do that these days. Usually it's on the back, and this one's got it on the back as well. But I am still going to award a massive 8 points for that. I just love the way it looks. Next up is the design. Are the things in the right places? Does it work the way it's supposed to in that sort of way? Well, first things first, it gets good marks for not having the headphones port on the bottom. If you want to put this in any sort of docking station where you can then, you know, charge it up or anything like that, you're still fine to have your headphones in. That is something, one of the things I don't like about some phones. But this one doesn't have that problem. Headphones, socket at the top. One thing that I do note though is that even though it's a fairly new phone, it doesn't have the USB-C connection. It's still got the old USB micro, and that is a little bit disappointing, considered that my old phone had the USB-C in, so it feels like a little bit of a step back. And for that reason, and pretty much that reason alone, I'm going to knock it down a little bit on the points. I would give it a very good 7, but it's going to get a 6. And then features. Is this as feature-packed as what I'd expect it to be? Well, I got the two phones, and I did the whole thing which you would do on Android, and you put them back to back, and the phone says, oh, do you want to transfer all your stuff? And it went absolutely brilliantly. So we'll save points for that on ease of use. But once I was in there, I played around with the features, this, that and the other. It has a dual memory card option in here. Not memory card, sorry, a dual SIM card option. So you can have 2 SIM cards in here if you wish. If you have 2 SIM cards in, you can't have a memory card, but you can have a memory card and a SIM card. So basically there's room for 2 cards. That's a nice feature to have in there. Not many phones have that dual SIM feature, and of course it's expandable. Something that my old phone, my Nexus 5X, didn't have. You couldn't expand the memory on these. You can on these with a memory card. It's something that I do think that probably should be in most phones. And features, it's got 2 cameras on the back. Apparently one is colour and one is black and white to enable a better, crisper photos. The photos do seem quite good, but I'm yet to get them on my computer and get a really close-up picture of what they are like. It's got the fingerprint recognition, which is good. The flash is a good one. So in terms of hardware and spec, the features are good. The features on the phone itself is just a stock, pretty much a stock Android system. There is some tweaks in there from the maker with their own kind of login system. I'm not really using any of that. I've put my own stuff on there. I've actually got the Google launcher on here. So this home screen is the Google launcher, not the standard one that comes with it. Not a lot of difference between the two, but I've had that one for a long time, and I prefer it. I like it. So yeah, and there's lots of cool little features in the background as well. Things like you can set up multiple do not disturb modes and things like that. A lot of these phones have these features now, but it has all those basic features. It's not spandangly, but it's got all that good stuff. So I'm going to give it a good 7. Performance. Does it perform well? Well, so far so good. I know as phones tend to go along, they tend to get clogged up, and after a year or so sometimes they slow down. This one is performing very well at the moment, and I have rammed it with every single possible app that I could possibly want on it, to the point where I actually have to have all my apps in folders because I've got so many of them. But it's still performing quite well. And if you want to talk about performance, I normally like to look at battery life. I've had this phone on charge overnight. I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and took it off charge. Since then, I've had half a day of work where I've been sending some messages, I've been listening to some music, streaming it from Amazon on and off all day, and it's come now to, we're coming up to 1 o'clock, so it's been going for about 6 hours, and the battery life is down to 94%. So I think that's really good. So performance is going to get a really very good 8. Ease of use. Is it easy to use? Well, yes it is. I didn't even look at the instruction manual. The nice little thing that was on the back, the little label thing, I'll probably try and get a close-up of this for you, and I'll put it on the screen now. But I've stuck it to this back. gave me the basic instructions I needed to get this started. Where do I put my SIM in? Where's the card tray? Where's the volume buttons, power, and where is my NFC? Something a little bit interesting on this one. A lot of phones have the NFC towards the middle. The NFC is actually near the top of this one. A little bit fiddly if you're trying to do it in certain places. But overall, ease of use, it was quite easy to do. Then again, I'm used to these sorts of things. So I don't know if it was really easy for me because I'm used to Android phones or not. But I get a good feeling. Generally, it's easy to use. So we'll give it a 7. And then the must-have factor. How much of a must-have factor does this phone have? Well, the brand doesn't really give it much of a must-have factor, in my opinion. It's not one of those big names. Everybody I've spoke to so far says, what? I haven't heard of that. So yes, the technology and the company behind this, there's no kind of like must-have it. But on the specs side, that is where I got my must-have factor from. When I saw the specifications, I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's a lot better than what I had before. It's got a lot more RAM than my old phone. I think it's got 3 gig of RAM. It's got all the features that I really want in it. So for its features and its spec, it has some must-have factor. But there isn't really a must-have factor about the phone in terms of brand or quality, in terms of that sort of way. It's not like this brand is a top quality thing. So we're going to knock it down a little bit. It's still, I'm going to give it a 6 for that must-have factor because of the features. The specification of wanting it. And then next up we have innovation. Innovation. Does this push anything in terms of innovation? Has it got the next level in it? Well, there's not anything on here that I haven't seen before, except the dual camera maybe. That's moderately unique, especially to newer cameras. So I suppose it is pushing innovation a little bit, but throughout it's pretty standard, to be honest. There's nothing crazily new, and inside on the software as well, there's not a lot in terms of innovation on there. It's very standard, very kind of this gen. Okay, there's nothing in here that says, ooh, phones should have this. So even though it's got a bit of a dual camera thing going on there, that's going to bump the points up from probably a 4 or a 5. So I'm going to give it a 6 because of the extra camera-ness on there. The front camera is really good as well. I think it's a 5 megapixel camera, not bad. And then best in field. Is it the best in the field? Well, actually, for the technical specifications that it has, it is actually quite good. Okay, it hasn't got that big brand name, but it's got a massive battery. The features are really good. Apparently, they're moderately reliable from what I've read on forums and so forth. A few people do have a few niggles and things, but you get that with a lot of different things. So, best in field, it is actually up there with the big guys. So I'm going to give it a 7, I think. And value for money. Well, I didn't buy this phone outright. I got it as part of a contract, but the contract was a very good deal. If you don't really want minutes or very much data, you can get this from about £16 a month, which is quite small considering how expensive some phones can be. You can be paying £500, £600, £700 for, flashy phones with curvy edges on them that don't really give you much extra features, if at all. So, it's quite feature-packed, and it's actually quite cheap in comparison. I'm not sure, but I think you can get this for just under £300 in the UK, unlocked and just on its own. So, for the money, fantastic. Giving it a 9. And then comes to bonus points. Bonus points is that area of the categories of my reviews where I just give points for the sake of it. Sometimes it's because I just really like it, sometimes it's got something that the other sections haven't covered. But in this occasion, I just look at this and I think, what do I think of this? I think it's very good. So I'm going to give it a 7 in the bonus category. Not for one thing in particular, but just for its all-round, all-roundness of it. This is my personal, I want to give this a 7. So, adding all that together gives us a Hellish review score of 71%. Remember, my reviews, in my review system, 70% is very good. Anything less than that, you're starting to trail off, and anything more, you're looking at something which is fantastic. So, it gets a very good 71% from me. Well, that is my first impression. My impressions might change. The review's been quite from a high level, because I haven't really got too down and dirty with this phone yet, but we will see how it goes over the coming years. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've got any thoughts, ideas, or indeed questions about the phone, please pop them down in the comments and I'll try and get in touch and let you know the answers to your questions. But that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching and goodbye.